Hello, everyone. In this week, we are going to look at different types of charts that can be used in data visualization. In this video, we are going to start by visualizing two numbers. First of all, how many chart types can you name? So you probably have learned to use different types of charts in Excel. With Excel, you can create many different types of charts and to actually visualize data. So in this week, we are going to look at many different types of charts, include line chart, bar chart, histogram, dot plot, scatter plot, box plot, etc. So we'll look at those charts, different types of charts in a separate video. So here is a interesting website. It's called a periodic table of visualizing methods. So if you go to this URL, so you actually see how the website looks like. So they put all the different types of charts in this kind of format of a periodic table. If you move your mouse over each symbol, you're going to see an example of this type of charts. So strictly speaking, some of these may not be actually a chart type, but they can actually help you to actually develop some thinking if you want to make a presentation about specific concepts. But anyway, I think they did a good job by using this website to capture different types of ideas that can be used to visualize concepts, data, or many other kind of ways to present information. So in this video, normally if we were in class, I would ask you to do this class exercise, which is to visualize two numbers. First of all, let's review what we talked about in terms of pre-attentive attributes. So we mentioned in the data visualization, those are the important elements that can be used to capture users' attention to help differentiate the major elements on the data visualization, such as length, width, size, position, shape, curves, marks, enclosure, colors. Colors can be intensity, can be the hue, different hues, orientation, and grouping. So as I mentioned, if we were in class, I would ask each one of you to do this, to give you maybe 10 to 20 minutes. So if you want to do this, you can pause this video and try to think about how do you want to visualize these two numbers. So what kind of chart types you can create to just represent these two numbers. So of course, you can add different kind of context. So since I'm going to record this video, I'm going to move on to the next slide. So if you want, you can actually pause this video and think about it, then move on to the next part of the video. So these were actually done by students in class. You can see different types of charts. So some of this may be actually similar to what you have done if you actually take some time to think about it. So you can see many different types of charts have been used to represent these two numbers. 75, 37, so line chart, bar chart, pie chart. Donut chart. So some people even use some creative ways to think about the representation of these two numbers. So what if we add some colors to these numbers? So in this example, with color being added, Do you think this will help you actually understand the meanings of these two numbers? So what do you think this could represent? How about now, if we add this Tuesday on top of these two numbers? And with this additional symbols, so we now see these numbers in context. So it's a very common kind of way to visualize weather. So like in this example, one more example. So if you look at these two numbers in another way of perspective, so in this case, so we are moving from 37 up to 75. Is this a good or bad move? What do you think? So we don't know the answer because we do not have the context. So if we add this red color, is this good or bad? Still, we do not know. It depends on the context. So if we use this expression, this frowning face, we know this is not a good move. So now let's add the title to this chart and indicate these 2 years. So this can actually help us make sense of these two numbers in the specific context. So one last example, what do you think is going on here? Any ideas? So still these two numbers, 37, 72, but only here it's called a bullet graph. So we'll talk about bullet graph in a separate video. So how about we indicate this is for scores? So, and this is for golf scores. So again, you can see just the little things can bring out the context of the data. We can now see that the current scores of the first 9 holes on a golf course, where 37 is over par for the 9 holes, and the progress toward par on 18 holes. Okay, so that's part of the video for doing exercise on these two numbers. So we'll talk about different types of charts in a separate video. If you have questions, feel free to let me know.